No, I'm sorry, Ed. I can't go out with you tonight. I have to read A Christmas Carol by Charlie Dickens. The stupidest book, I swear. I'm just not going to read it. No, I'm not going to. I'll find something else to read. Okay, how many pages is it? It's way too long. In one night, I'm supposed to read this. There's no way. I'm sorry. There's no way. Okay. I'll start it. Christmas Carol. What kind of name is that for people in a time warp? Old Marley was dead as a doornail. Scrooge knew it, of course. He and Marley had been partners for many years. Yet, old Scrooge had never painted out old Marley's name. There it stood, years afterwards, above the warehouse door. Scrooge and Marley. Sometimes people new to the business called Scrooge. Sometimes they called him Marley. He answered to both names. Didn't matter to him. Oh, but Ebenezer Scrooge was stingy. He was a squeezing, wrenching, grasping, clutching old sinner. Nobody ever stopped him on the street to say, "My dear Scrooge, how are you? When will you come to see me?" Certainly no asking for money, and no children asked him what time it was. In fact, people seldom talked to him at all. But what did Scrooge care? To be left alone was the very thing he liked. One Christmas Eve, old Scrooge sat in his office. It was cold, bleak, foggy weather. The city clocks had just struck 3, but it was quite dark already. The door to Scrooge's office was open so that he could keep an eye on his clerk, who sat at a tiny desk in the next room copying letters. Scrooge had a very small fire, but the clerk's fire was very much smaller, and he couldn't add more coal, for Scrooge kept the coal box in his own room, and the clerk knew that if he went in there with his shovel, he'd be in danger of losing his job. This was a situation between old Scrooge and Bob Cratchit, his clerk. Cratchit hardly dared look up when Scrooge's nephew Fred entered Ebenezer's office.
Bob? A Merry Christmas, Uncle! God bless you! Bah! Humbug! Christmas, a humbug, Uncle? Why, you don't mean that. I do. Away with Merry Christmas. What's Christmas time to you but a time for finding yourself a year older and not an hour richer? If I had my way, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips would be boiled in his own soup and buried with a stick of holly through his heart, he would. Uncle, nephew, you keep Christmas in your way and let me keep it in mine.
Keep it? Don't keep it.
Let me leave it alone then. It is my business, not yours.
There are many things from which I might have derived good, but which I have not profited. I dare say Christmas among the rest. But I am sure I have always thought of Christmas time when it came around, apart from the veneration due to its sacred name and origin, if anything belonging to it can be apart from that, as a good time, a kind, forgiving, charitable, pleasant time. The only time I know of in the long calendar of the year when men and women seem by one's consent to open their shut-up hearts freely, and to think of people below them as if they were really fellow passengers to the grave, and not another race of creature bound on other journeys. And therefore, Uncle, though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe it has done me good, and will do me good. And I say, God bless it.
Let me hear another word from you, and you'll keep your Christmas by losing your situation. You are quite a powerful speaker, sir. I wonder you don't go into Parliament. Good afternoon.
Oh, don't be angry, Uncle. Come. Have dinner with my wife and me tomorrow.
I'll see you in hell first.
But why? Why?
Good afternoon.
But, Uncle, you never come to see us.
Why did you get married?
Why? Because I fell in love.
Because you fell in love? Oh, good afternoon.
Nay, Uncle. You never came to see me before that happened. Why give it his reason for not coming now?
Good afternoon.
I want nothing from you. I ask nothing of you. Why cannot we be friends?
Good afternoon.
I am sorry with all my heart to find you so resolute. We haven't had any quarrel to which I have been a party. But I have made my trial and homage to Christmas, and I'll keep my Christmas humor to the last. A Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Good afternoon.
And a Happy New Year.
Good afternoon,
Bob.
Well, what are you standing there for?
Well, sir, my fire is almost out, and I thought another bit of coal might keep it going.
Nonsense! Haven't I told you I won't have you burning up my coal like tinder?
Yes, sir.
Well, why don't you get back to your work then?
Well, sir, tomorrow's Christmas, and I was wondering...
Yes, I know. You were wondering whether you could have all day off, I suppose.
If quite convenient, sir.
Well, it's not convenient, and it's not fair. If I was to stop half a crown for it, you'd feel yourself ill-used, I'll bound.
Yes, sir.
Christmas. Bah! Nothing but a poor excuse to pick a man's pocket every December the 25th. My old partner, Marley, agreed well with me. He thought it a lot of humbug, too. And you, a clerk with 15 shillings a week, a wife and family, talking about a Merry Christmas. Bah!
May I have tomorrow off, sir?
I suppose you must. But be here all the earlier the next morning.
Yes, sir. And thank you, sir.
Who's that, Cratchit?
2 men, sir. I don't know who they are.
Let them in.
Scrooge and Marley's, I believe. Are you Mr. Scrooge and Mr. Marley?
Mr. Marley has been dead for 7 years. He died 7 years ago this very night.
At this happy season, we should share our joy by remembering the poor. Thousands are in need of common comfort, sir. Thousands are in need.
Are there no prisons?
Why, plenty of prisons.
And the workhouses, are they still in operation?
They are. Still, I wish they were not.
The treadmill and the poor law are in full vigor then?
Both are very busy.
Oh! Well, I was afraid, from what you had said at first, that something had occurred to stop them in their useful course.
But, sir, these organizations scarcely furnish Christian cheer of mind or body to these unfortunate people. It is because of a few of us are endeavoring to raise a fund to buy the poor some meat and drink and means of warmth. We choose this time because it is time of all others when want is keenly felt and abundance rejoices. What shall I put you down for?
Nothing.
Oh, you wish your gift to be kept secret.
I wish to be left alone since you asked me what I wish, gentlemen. I don't make merry at Christmas, and I can't afford to make lazy people merry. I pay to support the prisons and the workhouses, and they cost enough. And the poor must go there.
But many would rather die.
If they would rather die, then it's fine with me, and they'd best do it too, and decrease the surplus population. Good day.
Sing a song of gladness and cheer, song of gladness and cheer. For the time of Christmas is here, the time is here. Look around about you and see
you, my dear. A Merry Christmas to you, sir. A Merry Christmas to you.
After such a disturbing afternoon, Scrooge took his usual melancholy tavern, and having read all the newspapers, went home to bed. He lived in chambers which had once belonged to his irascible old partner Marley, a gloomy suite of rooms, old and dreary, where no one lived but Scrooge, the others being let out as offices. Once in his apartment, he closed and locked his door, and in his usual fashion put on his dressing gown and slippers, and sat down before the fire to take his evening gruel. The fire was very low and dim, casting eerie shadows on the walls, and he was obliged to sit close to it and brood over it before he could extract any warmth from it. Then followed a series of strange sounds, as of feet stairs, coming closer and closer towards his room. Scrooge, adamant in his greed, stared in defiance.
Pooh! Pooh! You cannot be Jacob Marley. Well now, what do you want with me?
Much.
Who are you?
Ask me who I was.
Who were you then?
In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley.
Humbug!
You don't believe in me.
I don't.
You see me, don't you?
Yes.
Why do you doubt your senses?
Because something must be bothering them. A slight disorder of the stomach makes them cheat. You could digest it, bit of beef, a blot of mustard, a crumb of cheese, the fragment of an underdone potato. There's more gravy than grave about you, whatever you are. Mercy, awful spirit, why do you walk this earth? Why do you trouble me so? And why do you come to me?
It is required of every man that the spirit within him should walk abroad among his fellow men. And if that spirit goes not forth in life, it is condemned to wander the world. Oh, woe is me, and witness what it cannot share, but might have shared on earth, and turned to happiness.
You are fettered. Tell me why.
I wear the chain I forged. I made it link by link, and of my own free will I wore it. Would you know the weight of the strong coil you bear yourself? It was as full and heavy as this 7 Christmas Eves ago. You have labored on it since. It is indeed a ponderous chain.
Jacob, oh Jacob Marley, speak comfort to me, Jacob.
I have none to give. Comfort comes from other regions, Ebenezer Scrooge, and is conveyed by other ministers to other kinds of men. Nor can I tell you what I would. A very little more is all permitted me. I cannot rest. I cannot stay. I cannot linger anywhere. In life, my spirit never walked on the narrow limits of our counting house. Mark me! And weary journeys lie before me.
You must have been very slow about it, Jacob.
No.
7 years dead and traveling all the time.
The whole time. No rest. No peace. Incessant torture of remorse.
You travel fast?
On the wings of the wind.
You must have got over a quantity of ground in 7 years, huh, Jacob?
Oh, captive, bound and double-ironed, not to know that ages of incessant labor by immortal creatures for this earth must pass into eternity before the good of which it is susceptible is all developed, not to know that any Christian spirit working within its own little sphere, whatever it may be, will find his mortal life too short for its vast means of usefulness, not to know that no space of regret can make amends for one's life's opportunities misused. Yet such was I. Oh, such was I.
But you were always a good man of business, Jacob.
Business! Mankind was my business. The common welfare was my business. Charity, mercy, forbearance, and benevolence were all my business. The dealings of my trade were but a drop in the comprehensive ocean of my business. Hear me, my time is nearly gone.
But don't be hard on me, Jacob.
I have come to warn you that you still have a chance to escape my fate. You will be haunted by 3 spirits.
Is that the chance you mentioned, Jacob? I think I'd rather not.
Without their visits, you cannot hope to shun the path I tread. Expect the first tomorrow night when the bell tolls 1.
Couldn't I have them all at once and get it over with, Jacob?
Expect the second on the next night at the same hour. The third on the next night when the last stroke of 12 ceases to vibrate. Look to see me no more. And look that for your own sake. You remember what has passed between us.
Slowly and quietly the spectre floated out upon the darkness of the bleak night, leaving Scrooge, desperate with curiosity, behind. After a moment he followed, went to the window, looked out. The air was filled with phantoms, wandering hither and thither in restless haste, and moaning as they went. Every one of them wore chains like Marley's ghosts. Many he knew personally, old friends that had passed on, business acquaintances, all bound and fettered and wailing in mournful dirge. He had been quite familiar with one old ghost, in a white waistcoat, with a monstrous iron safe attached to his ankle, who cried piteously at being unable to assist a wretched woman whom he saw on the doorstep below. The misery of them was all clear, that they sought to help in human and had lost the power forever. With a painful sigh, Scrooge closed the window and went to examine the door through which the ghost had entered. It was double locked, just as he had locked it earlier in the evening. Again he tried to say, "Humbug," but again he stopped at the first syllable. Feeling much in need of repose, he went straight to bed and fell asleep on the instant. Subconsciously, from deep in the realms of sleep, Scrooge heard the clocks toll the quarter hour, the half hour, and remembered that the ghost had warned him of a visitation on the stroke of 1. Recalling this, he dozed fitfully. On the instant of 1, he lay there. The lights flashed up in his room. For a moment, he blinked, then stared wide-eyed at what he saw before.
Are you
sir, the spirit I was told to expect?
I am.
Who and what are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Long past?
No, past. We will see shadows of things that have been, but they will not be able to see us. Rise and walk with me.
But I am a mortal and liable to fall.
Touch my hand and you will be upheld in more than this. Do you know this place?
No, it's... Why, I once worked here. There's old Fezziwig.
Yo there, Ebenezer, Dick.
Dick Wilkins, my old fellow worker. Dear, dear.
Yo, my boys, no more work tonight. Christmas Eve, Dick. Christmas, Ebenezer. Let's have these shades up before you can say Jack Robinson.
My father says Christmas is a waste of time. We never celebrated Christmas.
Never celebrate Christmas. That's terrible, Ebenezer. Christmas is a time to count one's blessings.
I know, but what's mine to do?
To start off with, you can be happy and join in the celebration anyway.
All right.
Yo, Ebenezer, Dick, pick a partner and let's celebrate with friends and family.
Let's go the other way. Very good. Shall we go?
Do you recall the celebration? All the friends old Fezziwig had and all your families around you? It was a small matter to make these folks so happy. He really hasn't spent much money.
It isn't that. He had the power to make us happy or unhappy, to make our jobs easier or harder. His power lies in being kind and thoughtful to all who work for him. So you see, the happiness he gives is just as great as if it cost him a fortune.
What is the matter?
Nothing in particular.
Something, I think.
No. Last night, I should like to have said a word or two to my clerk, that's all.
My time grows short. Quickly, let us see another Christmas.
to you. Very little. Another idol has taken my place, and if it can cheer and comfort you in times to come, as I would have tried to do, I have no cause to grieve.
What idol has displaced you?
A golden one.
This is the even-handed dealing of the world. There is nothing on which the world of poverty, and there is nothing it professes to condemn severity as a pursuit of wealth.
Poor Ebenezer, you fear the world too much. All your other hopes have merged into the one hope of being beyond the chance of its sword of reproach, the reproach of poverty. I have seen your noble aspirations fall, one by one, until the master passion gain engrosses you. Have I not?
What then? Even if I've grown so much wiser, what then? I'm not changed towards you, am I?
Our contract is an old one, made when we were both poor and content to be so, until in good season we can import our worldly fortune by our patient industry. You are changed. When it was made, Ebenezer, you were another man.
I was a boy.
See? Your own feelings tell you you are not the same. I am. That which promised happiness when we are one in heart is fraught with misery now that we are two. How often and keenly I have thought of this, say, it is enough that I have thought of it and can release you.
Have I sought release?
In words, no, never.
In what then?
In a changed nature, an altered spirit, in everything that made my love of any worth or value in your sight. Tell me, if this had never been before us, would you seek me out and try to win me now? No.
You think not?
I would gladly think otherwise. If I could, heaven knows I would. But if you were free today, tomorrow, can even I believe that you would choose a dowerless girl? You who in your very confidence with her weigh everything by gain? Or even if you should, do I not know that regret would surely follow? I do. And I release you with a full heart for the love of him you once were. May you be happy in the life you've chosen.
Spirit, show me no more. Conduct me home. Why do you delight to torture me so?
One shadow more.
No more. No more, please. I don't wish to see it.
I told you these were things that have been. Do not blame me for what they are.
Remove me. Conduct me home. I cannot bear it. Leave me. Take me back. Haunt me no longer. Spirit, I see why. I was a boy here. All this I remember well.
Your lip is trembling. And what is that upon your cheek?
Lead on, Spirit. I follow.
You recollect the way?
Remember it? The path of my boyhood. Why, I could walk it blindfolded.
Strange to have forgotten it for so many years. Strange. But let us go on. Ah, a school. Do you remember? But of course you do. Even though it is Christmas Eve, however, it is not quite deserted. A solitary child, neglected by his friends, is left there still.
I know him all too well. My own lost boyhood.
You recall this old brick schoolhouse, its weathercock, and the school bell hanging from its roof? Look now, the walls damp and mossy, the windows broken, the gates decayed. Let us look within. The boy who still read near the feeble fire.
Poor boy. Poor lonely boy. It was that day my little sister Fan came with the happy news that she had persuaded my father to let me come home for Christmas. I had thought that I was to spend it alone. Oh, how she laughed and clapped her tiny little hands together when she came with the happy news that Father had sent a coach to fetch me so that we might all have a merry Christmas together. Look, Spirit. There she is.
Dear brother, I've come to bring you home, dear brother. Bring you home.
Home, little Fan?
Yes, home for good, home forever and ever. Father is so much kinder than he used to be, and home is like heaven. He spoke so gently to me one dear night that I was not afraid to ask him once more if you might come home. And he said yes, you should, and sent me in a coach to bring you. And you are to be a man and never come back here. But first, we are to be together all the Christmas long and have the merriest time in the world.
You're quite a woman, little Fan.
Did you go?
Ah, yes. Merrily, with my trunk tied to the coach and its quick wheels dashing through the snow.
Your sister was always a delicate creature, whom a breath might have withered, but she had a large heart.
So she had. You are right. I will not gainsay it, Spirit. God forbid.
She died a woman and had, I think, one child.
Yes, my nephew Fred.
Shall we leave the boy at his desk?
Poor boy. My poor forgotten self, as I used to be.
What
Poor
say
boy.
you?
Nothing. It is too late now.
What is too late?
Nothing. Nothing. Last night, children were singing Christmas carols at my door. I should like to have given them something. That's all.
Let us see another Christmas.
Listen. Mr. Scrooge it was. I passed the office window, and as it was not shut up, I saw a candle inside. There he was, plain as day, working over his beloved books. His good partner lies to the point of death, I hear. And there sits old Scrooge, all alone, worshiping his money.
Maybe the young guy will learn something from this. Dude, skip it!
No, you'll just be all alone. Quite alone, I do believe.
Oh, Spirit, move me from this place.
I told you these were things that had you, that they are what they are. Do not blame me.
The hate, leave me, take me back, haunt me no longer.
In his anguish, Scrooge wrestled with the spirit of Christmas past, but found he was only struggling with a strange, unbroken light. He was conscious of being exhausted and drowsy, and of being in his own bedroom, with barely time to reel to bed before he sank into a heavy sleep. On the stroke of one, Scrooge awoke in the middle of a prodigiously tough snore, and sat upright. He knew that the second messenger, dispatched to him through Jacob Marley's intervention, would soon present itself, and wished this time to challenge the spirit the moment appearance. However, no spirit came. 5 minutes, 10 minutes passed, until the clocks proclaimed the hour, and still Scrooge sat alone. At last he began to think. Throughout the hour he had seen a ghostly light about the clocks, and he wondered if in the adjoining room he would find its weird source. He had hardly moved when a strange voice called him by name and bade him enter. He obeyed. It was his own room. There was no doubt about that. But it had undergone a surprising transformation. For Walls and ceiling were so hung with living green that it looked like a perfect grove from which every part was in gleaming berries. It was as Christmassy a sight as old Scrooge had ever seen.
Take me where you will. I'm ready to learn what you will teach me.
Touch my robe.
On earth in mercy mild, God is sinners reconciled.
Joyful all ye nations rise, join the triumph of the skies.
With the jolly host proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem.
Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Christ my highest and adored, Christ the everlasting Lord. Made in time became come, offspring of the favored one. Veiled in flesh the Godhead seen, hail incarnate deity. Please us men with men to dwell, Jesus our Emmanuel. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King.
Now, man, what see you?
I see Christmas cheer and gaiety everywhere. Stalls lighted up, and holly and mistletoe.
That noise, do you know whose house that is?
That said, it's the humble home of my clerk, Bob Cratchit. Look straight, how happy they are. The children dancing around the table while Mrs. Cratchit lays the feast before them.
And who is that man who went so merrily carrying a tiny crippled lad on his shoulder?
That's Sir Cratchit and his son, Tiny Tim. Oh, see the boy's tiny crutch and his useless limbs. How tenderly his father holds him. Tell me, spirit, will Tiny Tim live?
I see a vacant seat in the far chimney corner and a crutch without an owner carefully preserved. If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, the child will die.
No! Oh no, kind spirit. Tell me he will live to be spared.
Why so? If he be like to die, he had better do it and decrease the surplus population. Man, if man you be in heart, will you decide what man shall live? What man shall die? It may be in the sight of heaven you are more worthless and less fit to live than millions like this poor man's child.
What is keeping your precious father and your brother Tiny Tim and Martha? Here's Martha, Mother. How late you are, Mama, but never mind, you're here. Sit right down, my dear, and have a warm drink.
No, no, Father's coming! Hide, Mother! Hide!
Why, where's our Martha?
Not coming.
Not coming. Not on Christmas Day.
Here I am, Father.
Hello, Martha.
And how did little Tim behave?
Oh, as good as gold. Somehow, he gets thoughtful sitting all by himself so much. He told me that he hoped the people in church saw him as a cripple, and that it might be cheerful for them on Christmas Day to see who made the crippled walk and blind men see. Oh, what a beautiful pudding. Merry Christmas to all, my dears. God bless us.
God bless us, everyone.
Mr. Scrooge! A toast to Mr. Scrooge.
Mr. Scrooge, indeed. I wish I had him here. I'd give him a piece of my mind.
My dear, Christmas Day, the children.
It would have to be Christmas Day. For when did you get toast to such a stingy, hard, unfeeling man as Mr. Scrooge? And you know he is, Robert. Nobody knows it better than you do.
My dear, Christmas Day.
I'll drink it for your sake, and for the day's, but not for his. A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. He'll be very merry and very happy, I'm sure.
Enough. We must go on. Hold my robe.
What now, man? What do you see?
I see my nephew. And it's and to think that he said Christmas was a humbug. He believed it too. Oh, he's a funny old man. He's not as pleasant as he should be, but I have nothing to say against him. He hurts now and balance. He takes it into his head to dislike us, and he won't even come to eat with us. So what happens? He misses a fine dinner.
Very good.
Enough about old Scrooge. He's ruined enough dinners in his life already. Let's play charades. Fred, you start.
Well, all right. Ah, yes.
Give me your money, money! Why, a piece of gold!
I know what it is, Fred. I know what it is.
What is it?
It's your old Uncle Scrooge.
Right. And he's given us plenty of merriment, I am sure. Why, it would be ungrateful not to drink to himself. Here is a glass of mulled wine ready to our hand at the moment, and I say to Uncle Scrooge.
To Uncle Scrooge.
A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to the old man. Whatever he is, he wouldn't take it from me, but may he have it anyway. Uncle Scrooge.
Uncle Scrooge.
Are you the ghost of Christmas yet to come? Oh, ghost of the future, I'm more afraid of you than of any ghost I've seen tonight. But I know you have come to do me good, and so I'm ready to go with you, gladly. Will you not speak to me? Lead on, lead on. The night is almost gone, and we must not lose a moment. I know. Lead on, spirit.
Now, I don't know much about it either way. I only know he's dead.
When did he die?
Oh, last night, I believe.
Oh, what was the matter with him? Oh, he never died.
Oh, God knows who else does.
Was he done with this morning?
I did. Oh, he's company bad. He hasn't left it to me, and certainly not to any charity or to his clerk.
What's that you're carrying?
His bed curtains and his blankets.
His blankets?
Who's this to your think? Yeah, that silly catch cold at Adam, I dare say. Why, if he'd wanted to take him with him, the wicked old sinner. Why wasn't he a better man in his lifetime? If he had been, he'd had somebody there to look after him when he died instead of lying there, gasping out his last breath. There's one by himself.
Spirit, I see what has happened to this unhappy man. Might happen to me. My life leads that way now.
Color hurts my eyes. They're better now. The candlelight makes them whiter, and I wouldn't show red eyes to your father when he comes home. It must be nearly time for him now.
Past it, but I think he has walked a little slower than he used to these last few evenings, Mother.
I have known him to walk with Tiny Tim upon his shoulders very fast indeed.
And so have I, Mother, often.
And so have I. But he was very light to carry, and his father loved him so that it was no trouble. No trouble. But, hush now. There's your father at the door.
Beautiful, my dear. It will be ready to bury Tiny Tim on Sunday after all.
Sunday. Then you went to the cemetery today, Robert?
Yes, my dear. I wish you could have gone. It would have done you good to see how green a place it is. But you'll see it often. I promised him we'd walk there on Sundays. My little child. My little child.
Spirit, something tells me our visit is almost over. Please tell me who that man was who died. The man no one cared about. Spirit, are you showing me things that will be, or things that may be? A man's life may lead down unhappy paths, but if he changes his life and becomes a man, then he might yet have time to find happier paths to follow. Isn't that so, Spirit? Am I that man? No, Spirit. No. Hear me, Spirit. I am not the man I was. Because of this visit, I will never be that man again. Why show me this? If I am past all hope, tell me I may change the things you've shown me. I will honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all the year. I will live in the past, the present, and the future. The spirits of all three will live within me. I will not forget the lessons that they teach. Help me, I may erase away the writings on this stone. Boy, what's today?
Eh?
What's today, my fine fellow?
Today? Well, it's Christmas Day.
Christmas Day! Then I haven't missed it. What? Do you know the butcher shop on the next street over at the corner?
I sure did.
Oh, what an intelligent boy! Oh, such a fine boy! But do you know whether they've sold the prize turkey that was hanging up there in the window? No, not the little prize turkey, but the great big one!
The one as big as me?
Oh, what a delightful boy! It's a pleasure to talk to him. Yes, that's the one, my boy.
It's hanging there now.
Is it? Go and buy it.
What?
No, I mean it. In that purse is the address to send it to, along with more than enough to pay for it. Return here and I'll give you a shilling. Return in less than 5 minutes and I'll give you half a crown. Well, I'll send it straight to Bob Cratchit's. Why, he won't even know who sent it. It's twice the size of Tiny Tim. My dear sirs, how do you do? I hope that you succeeded yesterday. It was very kind of you. Oh, a Merry Christmas to you, sir.
Mr. Scrooge?
Yes, sir. That is my name. Oh, I'm afraid it might not be pleasant to you. Allow me to ask your pardon. Oh, and would you have the goodness to
Lord, bless me, Mr. Scrooge, are you serious?
Oh, yes, and not a farthing less. A great many back payments are included, I assure you. Will you do me that favor?
Yes, I don't know what to say to such a...
Don't say anything! Come and see me. You will come and see me.
I'm most certain...
Thank you, sir. I'm much obliged to you, sir. Thank you. Bless you, sir. But now I'm off to my nephew's for a fine dinner. Bless you again, sir. And Merry Christmas. I am early, and he's not here. Oh, how I wish him to be late. Oh, I just know he's gonna be late. He's gonna be late. Oh. Oh, here he is! And nearly 15 minutes late! Shh! What do you mean by coming in here at this time of day?
I'm sorry, sir. I know I'm late.
You are?
Yes, I think you are. Step this way, if you please.
It's only once a year, sir. It won't happen again. I was making rather merry yesterday, sir.
Now I'll tell you what, my friend. I'm not going to stand for this sort of thing any longer. And therefore, I'm about to raise your salary. A Merry Christmas, Bob. A merrier Christmas, Bob, than I've given you for many a year. I'll raise your salary and help your family, and we'll talk it over this very day. But first, let's build up the fires and buy a fresh bucket of coal before we even dot an I, Bob Cratchit.
And Scrooge more than kept his word. He had no further meetings with spirits, and it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas better than any man alive. May that be truly said of us, all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed,
God bless us, everyone!
see that a man